great news for the city of Seattle. Your new NHL expansion team, the Seattle Kraken or Kraken. I don't know how you people. I don't know how you people pronounce that. I'm gonna call it as this. It looks to me like the Kraken or something like that. It's a weird name, but I guess we don't know what that is. It's like a fish in the sea or something like that. I don't know what it is. I mean, according to my research, is what it is. But I don't know. Look it up more. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But anyway, they are officially the 32nd NHL team. They paid off their final expansion payment. It was worth 600. The pay itself as a whole was worth $650 million, which is a lot of money, Mario. And the Seattle Kraken or Kraken or however you're gonna pronounce it, I'm gonna call it the Kraken because it sounds funny. But they begin playing the next season, the 2021-2022 season. And I have a quote from the NHL Commissioner Gray Bettman. He said, "On behalf of the board governors, I am delighted to officially welcome the Seattle Kraken to the NHL as our 32nd member club. Congratulations to David Bonderman, the Bonderman family, their partners, the entire Seattle Kraken organization, the city of Seattle, and Kraken fans as the club continues on its exciting journey towards puck drop in October." Um, and in case if you don't know who Bonderman is, he's the owner of the team. And before I pass on to you, Mario, the article for this, the source of it was ESPN Associated Press. So I'll let you start off first.
Yeah, well, first of all, congratulations to Seattle Kraken or Kraken. My bad. It actually is Kraken, but I'm so used to saying Kraken. But congratulations to the Seattle Kraken on becoming the 32nd team in the NHL. I do like this name. I do,
So
and the
do I.
reason why is I do like the Las Vegas Knights. But the problem I had with them joining the NHL was there were 31 teams, and it seemed pretty uneven. It just didn't seem. And I feel like whenever one division has more teams than the other, I just don't. I seen that. I feel like that division with the most teams, it's not fair.
Or in this case, conferences.
Right, thank you. That's what I meant, conferences. But now you got Seattle, and isn't Seattle part? Isn't Seattle's part of the LA, the
They're
Las Vegas?
they're in the West, yeah. So what's gonna happen is I think they're gonna reorganize the what do you call it, the conferences. So I think one of the teams in the Western Conference that's closer to the East, they're gonna go to the East, and then so
Okay.
it's even because it's 32, so 16 on each side.
All right, I'd prefer that right there because I feel like the conferences should be even. I feel like adding another team to another conference and having a conference with more teams than the other, I just don't feel like that's fair. I just don't feel like that's right because that means that other conference with the most teams is going to have to fight harder or they're going to have to fight less depending on what rules you make for that. So you can make the rules where we'll add an extra playoff spot or you can make the rules it'll be the same way as it is and then there's more teams fighting for the same spot. So I'm glad I hope that they do that. I hope that they bring a West team to the East and they make it even. I really do. Um, but I'm glad that this Seattle Kraken is finally going to become an NHL team. I checked out their uniforms and the colors ain't bad.
I love their color scheme. Not gonna lie to you.
Um, but yeah, I mean now again Seattle is kind of a weird place for hockey. Kind of a weird place. Like if you really think about it, you could name a bunch of different places that they could have used. Like they could have used, well, nah, because that's near Boston and New England. So never mind. I was gonna say Maine, but how about Alaska
That,
though?
that,
Alaska hockey
but
team.
see, I thought about that, and that's true. But travel, that would probably be an issue.
Yeah,
They're
true.
so far out west that it's they're near Russia.
Yeah, but I mean, like the NFL never had a problem with it all those years. They went
Yeah,
to
that's true.
Hawaii.
Yeah, they went to Hawaii. Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, regardless, Seattle is is definitely I feel like a sports city. Back when they had this Seattle SuperSonics, they got the Mariners, they got the Seahawks. So I'm glad that Seattle does have a hockey team. I think that'll bring a lot of attention to hockey in Seattle. Um, Again, I felt like there could have been better places to have it. A lot of places that could have been cold. Personally, I think the best state for hockey is Minnesota. In my opinion, I think that's the best place for hockey. A lot of people are going to say Boston or Canada but I truly do think it's Minnesota. And like in the United States, at least, I think it's Minnesota over Boston. But you can argue differently. But I'm glad that Seattle is part of the NHL. Hopefully, they make these conferences even again because when Vegas joined, it wasn't even. But so hopefully they can fix that to the point where the conferences are actually even with equal amount of teams. And I'm curious to see how they're gonna do in their first season. Now, do I think that they're gonna go to the Stanley Cup Finals in their first season like Las Vegas did? No. But I do think that in a few years, if Seattle makes the right moves as a hungry new franchise, I think that they could do some big things. And the last thing I want to say is when a new team comes in, right, an expansion team, obviously the rules are you got to bring some of you got to release some of your players and bring them to the other team. The NHL needs to be very careful on who they bring to those teams because the last time the NHL decided to release players and put them on a new team, that team did something called go to the Stanley Cup Finals. Okay, a bunch of unwanted players just literally went to the Stanley Cup Finals. So if I'm the other NHL teams, I would prefer not doing that, especially the Las Vegas Knights, because they learned that lesson in their favor on getting rid of getting rid of some players that you might not want on what that can do. So be very careful on who you bring to that new team because I don't think people want to see Seattle Kraken go to the Stanley Cup Finals in their first season. I don't think people want to see that again. Okay, it was cool when Las Vegas did it. Let's keep it. Let's keep it with Las Vegas doing it. Okay. Let's not make this a new thing where every expansion team ends up going to the Stanley Cup Finals in their first year. I don't want to see it. But so, I mean, you know what, Nate? With that being said, I do wish the Seattle Kraken the best of luck. I wish the NHL the best of luck, and I'll pass on to you.
Yeah, best of luck to the Seattle Kraken. Best of luck to NHL. Yeah, I can't wait to see this team play. They're free to make trades and acquire players and front office executives. So that's pretty good. They can actually start being in that business. Um, they're going to be playing in the old arena that the Seattle SuperSonics used to play in, the Key Arena, which is now called the Climate Pledge Arena. They actually gutted the entire arena and rebuilding it on the inside so it's more modern and whatnot, which is
That's
pretty
pretty
cool.
cool.
Which is pretty cool. They're reusing an old building instead of building a whole other one, which I like. I like that. I think more architects should um kind of keep that in mind, especially for a building that holds so much history. That building was originally built for the science fair, which was why the Space Needle was built in Seattle, and they just remodeled it for the Supersonics when they went into the NBA. Which brings up my next point. Okay, now that you've got a new NHL team in Seattle, bring the damn Supersonics back because
I
now you
agree.
just rebuilt that arena, right? You just refitted that arena for the modern era for a new team, right? And now the NHL is expanding. Who, by the way, Gary Bettman is a really, really good commissioner. He's probably the second best commissioner in sports, behind Adam Silver.
Well,
Adam
here's
Silver Adam Silver needs to follow in his footsteps.
here's what I'll say. Here's my question to you. Do you think the former Sonics arena, not that it's big enough, but do you think that arena could hold two different teams?
Yes, the one in TD Garden does it. The Celtics and Bruins in New
Right. No, I get it. There are arenas who do it. MSG, TD Garden. I understand that. I'm just asking you that Seattle one itself, is it gonna be
Yeah.
not big enough, but is it a good enough arena to hold those two franchises?
Oh,
Because I agree with you.
absolutely. Because
Dude, Sonics need to come back.
what do you call it? Because the WNBA team in Seattle is going to be playing there as well. So they're
Okay.
already hoisting two teams. Yeah, yeah. My dad just mentioned that Gary Bettman used to be the NBA commissioner as well, but he's the NHL commissioner now. So, but yeah, Gary Bettman's doing a really good job with the expansion. The Vegas Golden Knights were obviously proven to be a very, very successful expansion team. Even though I was very skeptical about it, they just putting a random team in Las Vegas, like a lot of people, and myself included, was like, what's that gonna do? It's in Las Vegas. Everybody wants to gamble, not watch sports, and look what ended up happening. And because of that, the Oakland Raiders, now the Las Vegas Raiders, they followed suit, and there could be many more teams following suit for Las Vegas at that. I wouldn't be surprised. A great place to have sports. Same thing with Seattle. Seattle's starting to regain some teams or even make some new teams. I know the Mariners in Seattle, the Mariners and Seahawks aren't old franchises. I think they were created back in the '70s. The Supersonics obviously left to become the Thunder, which I think Adam Silver needs to expand. I think it's time for expansion. The MLB I think needs to start expanding as well. But that's a whole nother top. That's a whole nother debate for another time. But if you're rebuilding the new arena, you're rebuilding the old arena in the place that Supersonics used to play in. I think it's a call to bring the Supersonics back. But this isn't about the Supersonics. This is about the Kraken. Let's call them the Krakens. That's how you pronounce it. But look, I wish them the best of luck. I want to see how this goes because Seattle sports really haven't been, aside from the Seahawks, they really haven't been all that successful. The Mariners aren't really a team that anybody wants to watch because let's be honest, they're not really a good franchise. So, hopefully the Kraken can make up for that and actually be a really good team. And just don't pound on the Bruins so damn much. I'm getting sick of my guys being inconsistent. But look, best of luck to the Seattle Kraken. Best of luck to the NHL and whatever they're gonna do with the conferences. Best of luck to any player that's gonna be going to the Seattle Kraken. Best of luck to any front office executive that's going there as well. Yeah, and I just want to see how this is gonna work out.